Good morning, good morning. It is 9 o'clock Central Daylight Time. I tell you, pretty soon we're going to change this time, and so we'll still meet at 9, but we're going to change back to Standard Time soon. I think maybe in June. So I think next month we turn back, so it'll be an opportunity for us to just spend still time together, but just at a different time. Good morning, Cassandra, my friend in Texas. How are you? Good morning to anybody that comes into the space. I tell you, I had a good weekend. I worked in the entire weekend trying to learn something I didn't know. Last week, I think if you recall, I learned how to put a website together. And so this week it was troubleshooting the website. And that was very interesting to me because I didn't know about the codes, and I didn't know that sometimes you have to make sure that you've, you know, kind of dragged in the right, properties in order for it to work, and it will therefore determine how much, space can be used, how high the lines between, space between lines are, or also how high the text is. And I kept getting this small amount of text. Good morning, Lawson, Mike, my nephew in New York, and it was just making me so frustrated. It made me very angry that I couldn't get it. But eventually, after I received a call from a friend of mine, and she said, "Well, we got to get your site looking better than that." And so what I did is I went on and called the Weebly people who actually the website is powered by, and they fixed it. They said that there were a few glitchy areas. Good morning, Kayla. There were a few glitchy areas, and so we got out of it. But I'm hoping that each of you had a wonderful Memorial Day. I know it was a lot different than what we've all done in the past. Our Memorial Day is usually a celebration, first celebration for the starting off the summer season. And what happened was, pandemic, or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, ended up making it a lot more standoffish. Although I saw a lot of people over at the beach. In fact, the Pensacola Beach made national news. I saw that, and so I thought that was very interesting that we made the national news, having a lot of people out and that were socializing. But they said Pensacola actually did pretty good in terms of distancing themselves from others. But some of the other locations around the country, they were just so gangbusters to get out that they didn't do that. And now there's some. Good morning, morning tea. Now there's some that they're even as much as requiring them to be quarantined because there were just so many people. And I can't remember where that was, but I'm quite sure if you tune into the national news, you will see it. And so today, I really wanted to talk about try. And it came to me late last night. In fact, I didn't go to bed until probably 4 o'clock this morning because I had it on me that I had to finish some things up. And sometimes you have to realize, good morning, Jessica, you have to realize that, Janice, you have to put on some new armor, just some new things you didn't think you had to go through, but you really do. I had to go through that. I had to get it done. I felt it was a deadline I had set for myself, and I wasn't achieving it. So I didn't go to bed until almost 4 o'clock. But I took my shower before I went to bed because I knew I was going to be that much more tired this morning. But what it told me is that you got to try. You got to try to do what you haven't been able to do before, or you've never tried before. You never attempted anything before. And so to me, the significance of trying just says I may, one, learn something new. I may step out on a faith I didn't know I had, or I had but never put into action. I might find that I like something that I had no idea that I liked. Or I could do something that I had no idea I could do. So all those things talk about trying. And so, at 2 o'clock this morning, I started the lesson for this morning. And generally, I'm much more prepared than that, but because I was so busy working on the website that I didn't get around to the lesson till late. But the Lord delivered. He delivered, I tell you, because when you try something new, it can have any kind of effect. It can have a good effect. It can have a not so good effect. It can be wonderful, or it can be horrible. But the thing is that you tried. And the trying is in the opportunity to fail or succeed or fall in the middle. Meaning it wasn't exactly what you wanted to do, but you have time to go back and tweak it to make it more to your liking or more to what suits you. But I'm going to start off this morning and say, are you stuck? Are you? Yes, we are all stuck. We're stuck on something. On something. It doesn't even matter. Could be, I always try to give a little proviso after, to before I go into the lesson, to say it could be, the job you're in. It could be the career you chose. It could be the marriage or relationship you're in. It just could be so many things. The friends that you've chosen. We get stuck, or we take on more than what we can really do, and we're not honest with ourselves that we don't have the time. And sometimes we don't even have the ability, or we have the ability and don't have the time. Sometimes those things don't agree. So, you have to figure out, if I try it, how do I want it to come out? So look, I'm looking for a result before I even get started. I'm looking for, what do I hope for this to end up as? And so I have to plan it. I mean, sometimes we can't always plan something, but sometimes we can. So when I ask you, are you stuck? Sure, we're all stuck. We're all stuck. But anyway, today, since we're talking about try, I went to my my different places on the internet, and I found this thing called Something New by Audrey Heller. And it says, I'm going to put on my glasses. Hold on one second. Yes, that's me. It says, something new. Trying something new can be a bit frightening. However, it has its merits, as it also can be quite enlightening. You never know until you try what the outcome is going to be. Like everything else in life, you just have to wait and see. We'd like to feel that good things are in store for us. And if that be so, then it's an added plus. We can't cower when we have to make any changes, as it got to be full speed ahead. Do not regress, just say yes and watch all the good things unfold instead. Just never be reluctant when it's time for something new to enter your life. The reasons it's happening, it's the right time for a new beginning. You just have to realize now it's your turn to come out winning. So I saw this poem and I really liked it. I said, wow. Good morning, Marion. We never know why we may be, doing certain things, but we need to analyze it a little bit. We need to say why we want to try something, why we want to look at what may be next. And so, it could be, somebody asked you to marry him and you say, well, maybe I don't know him enough. Or somebody says, hey, move up here, because I have a friend that always wanted me to come back to New York. I couldn't do it. I was trying to tell her that in New York is a funny kind of place. You have to have your stuff together on your way there, or just in a position that when you get there, you're not destitute. And I felt that I would have been destitute because I would be starting all over again. And I didn't want to do that. And where I worked at in New York at the time, prior to leaving, I had a really good job. And I didn't want to be at the bottom. And I felt that if I went back, I couldn't get what I had. I'd really have to start all over. And New York, like a lot of places we live in this country, they're political. I didn't have any real, connections. I knew nothing. But what I did know is what I had and what I could build from here as opposed to going someplace else. So sometimes you have to also look, as I said, at what the end possibly could be for you. Or you could take a chance. You could just try it. Try something new. And this I also like by Ty Howard, and this is by I found it actually on his Twitter account, but I really liked it. It says, "Be your best self. There is only one of you, a you that is truly blessed. At birth, purpose was bestowed on you. Fearlessness, your given protective vest. Your life is a gift with great value. Open it, use it. Do not squander your innate wealth. Each day, choose to live the life to the fullest by being your best self." I like that. I want to be my best self every day. Every day I get up, I didn't feel I was doing anything, just sitting, around when the quarantine started. I said, oh, I got to do something. And I was already, yes, writing a book and doing all those kinds of things, but I just needed to do something a little bit more. And, the Lord's blessed me, even if I only have one person that comes into the space that I'm in. And oh, by the way, when you come into this space, I appreciate you scrolling. I love it that you stopped. I acknowledge and just am in joy that you stayed. And then, of course, if you share it, I'm over the top. I'm on the moon. I'm in heaven. So please share this video. Just hit share every time you come. Just hit share. Somebody in your stream may come and hear some of the good stuff. But I want to be my best self. And so that's how this program that I'm basically giving away is just to say, hey, look, I can help others while I'm idle, and so that's what my plans are with you all, and I appreciate you coming. So when we talk about try, we don't want to go back down to basics. Try. What is try? To try something means to make an attempt, at something new, it's an endeavor. It's a seek and find kind of thing. It's a struggle because you may say, I can't do it, but you keep going. I want to try it, but you don't. That would be trying if you did it. But if you don't, you still say, I need to try it. But so a lot of people say they want to do something, they never do. It's to strive and it's to do your best, which is just what Ty Howard was talking about, being your best you every day, finding something that makes you happy. In fact, the other day, somebody made me happy. They made me, and that would be Deborah Burgess. She brought me a mask, and I thought that was just so sweet. She said, let me do this. I'm not doing anything. So once again, just looking at something to do, and for whatever the reason. So anyway, it talks about the T in try is for triumph. Triumph is, it's a great victory. It's an achievement. It's basically your win. Your win. No one else's win. It's your win. It's basically looking at mastery. What can you master? It talks about the achievement, the conquest. To me, when you've been challenged with something that you haven't done before, one, it should be interesting, and sometimes it isn't. But two, once you get over it and you learn how to do something, can't take it away from you. It belongs to you now. You know how to do it. And I talked about this last week about the greenhorn, the person that doesn't know anything, and then all of a sudden they're able to not only learn what they were supposed to learn, but be able to teach it to somebody else, meaning they're no longer green. Okay, they've ripened a bit. So it says it's just a way of looking at being progressive, moving out on something, being excited, and then reaching something that you didn't reach before, that you had no idea that you could do, but guess what? You could do it. So that would be a triumph. That would be your achievement, your victory, the fact that you went after it. The next letter in try is R. The letter R, which it just gave to me the roar. It's the roar inside. all of a sudden you have an urge to do something, so it's your roar. It says it's a full, deep cry for prolonged. You just want to do it. Good morning, Triple L. There's just something you have to do. It may be that you want to write a song. You want to write a book. Write poetry. Some of us are so poetic, but we don't know it because we never put it down on paper, or we put it on paper, but no one ever hears it or sees it. And so what I'm telling to you, try it. Try it and see what happens. Good morning, Shelby. Just try it. See what happens. See what you can do with roaring. It says it's when you decide that you're going to scorch something. You're going to go for it. You're going to have that bellowing sound that comes from you. Say, yes, I did it. And you can scream to the top of your lungs. It says it's the right of admission. Just that you can do it. You're going to do it. That's it. And it's a belt. It's like putting it above you. It's like the prize fighters. The ones that decide that they want certain things. And so the only way they can get certain things is that they have to fight for it. And in order to be at the top, they have to win the belt. Okay? So that's what they're talking about. But the roar is when they finish and they say, I am the victor. How many of us can say that we're victors of anything? We should be able to. We have life. So therefore, the fact that we got up this morning, that could be a roar. The fact that we can still see, that could be a roar. We can still walk, that could be a roar. Just saying, thank you. Just acknowledging the fact that things could be worse. Things could be so much worse than what they are. We could be in a pandemic like we are now and quarantined, but with great disabilities. Some of us just can't, I won't say can't, but shouldn't be outside that much yet. Until, I say the coast is much clearer. Currently it isn't. Okay? The last letter, good morning, Sean, my nephew. The last letter is Y, which is yearn. And I said, Sandy, where did that come from? And it says it's to have an intense feeling of longing for something. And it says typically it's something that one has lost or is separated from. And a lot of times we don't always look at what we yearn for. We may keep it on a simple level. I yearn for a sweet potato pie slice. I yearn for, going to the beach. I yearn. But in this instance, it's like I want it to be greater, that you find a new craving for things that expand you, that make you larger than what you were before in your own eyes. And I'm not talking about the person that becomes pompous and has delusions of grandeur and all of that. No. I'm just talking about a person who has decided to get up and no longer just lays down for anybody that comes. And so the craving has become the other person, but the other person could be abusive. The other person could be only them first, you second or third. And I say second or third because sometimes there's other people in between there. Maybe a parent, maybe children, whatever they can throw in there. But the point is that it's a longing, it's a pining, it's a wish to do better, to want more. It's a desire, and it's an aim. It's an aim. We want to aim higher for ourselves. Where do we want to go? What do we want to do? How do we want to get there? And yes, Triple L also seeking. It is. It does say seeking. That we're seeking out. And it's just like having the idea of wanting to triumph at something. That would be seeking, because we don't know if we're going to be successful. Good morning, Robin. But we want to try it. We want to do something else. Something else that places us forward. Where can we go? How can we get there? And sometimes it's not who can you take with me, but who can I leave behind? Are you stuck? Just asking the question. You just never know. The point is that you're talking about moving yourself forward. What else can I do? Because to me, I think if I have a clear path, then anybody else that comes along with me, they may not be on the same path, but they're nearby. I can see them. I can help them. They can help me. Because sometimes we can't always see everything that we need to see, and people need to point that out. Because, I think I talked about that 2 weeks ago, the fact that other people see you for what they know about you, but you don't know those things about yourself. That could be a yearning that you need to get into. Good morning, Fanny. So the thing is that you just really need to try. You need to try something new. Try something that doesn't that maybe wasn't in your past. Maybe you weren't doing that again. Triple, I'm going to say it again. Okay, she said for me to say it again, just about the fact that people see you and they see all the things that might be going on with you, but you don't see them. And sometimes that's almost like the hidden us. We've hidden from ourselves. We don't even know how we got there. But guess what? We arrived. We're there. We don't know what to do with it, but we need to. So our questions for today is, what have you been What have you been triumphing in? What have you triumphed over the years? And what do you need to take a look at for attempting to be triumph in? What could it be? I mean, sometimes we're afraid to just make a decision, to go back to school, get out of a bad relationship, write a book. It could all start with a poem, If anybody doesn't know it, but I do it all the time, and I try to tell people, when you wake up and you got a good thing going on that was given to you as a dream, put it in something. Put it in something. And eventually you find that these dreams make stories. And the stories could be your book. You just never know. So look at what you could be triumphant in. The next question is, can you let out your biggest roar, your scream, your yell during quarantine, and then have it prepared again for after quarantine? Just yelling at something. When I was a counselor, one of the things I used to do it, is have people do like a primal scream, just absolutely scream. And of course, no one else was in our section, so it didn't matter. And we were not bothering anyone. And the rooms we were in were soundproof. But it just allowed people to let go. Sometimes just a scream allows you to release frustration, anger, hurt, disrespect, all those things that come with, I need to get rid of this. And this is how I look at doing it. And it's difficult. It is difficult. But guess what? You could do it. You could definitely do it. So, and then I say you scream now and then you scream later. You're going to scream when you can go out and do anything you want to do. Touch people you want to touch. Be close to them. Go back to church. Sing next to them. All those things. Good morning now. Getting back to what our normal was. We don't know what our new normal is even going to be. We don't know. But I think we need to be cautious. That's just me speaking. I think we need to have a way forward that not only makes sense for us, but protects us. And sometimes we can be, I was listening on the TV last night and even this morning, a lot of cavalierness out there. People just think that they're invincible. I don't think I'm invincible. I'm worried about the virus because I know it does affect, African American people at a greater risk, greater level. So I'm going to be concerned about, not only am I in a position to be sick, but am I in a position to make someone else sick? I don't want that. I don't want to make anybody else sick, nor do I want to be sick. So I'm going to be moving ahead, cautiously moving ahead. And the last question is, identify some of the things or people you yearn to see or the things you yearn to do. What would they be? You know, I don't know. So a friend of mine was telling me she couldn't wait to go to some a fancy restaurant that she likes, and I said, "Oh, that's nice." I don't know. I've always cooked my own food, and very fussy when I go out. So a lot of times people would say, "No, don't fool with Sandy." Oh, my name is Sandy Winborn. Don't fool with Sandy. She gonna take too long to get something to eat. Because, I didn't want too much salt in it. I had to have it cooked a certain way. Don't make it soggy. Just crazy stuff. So, but if you were to identify that, what would you put down? What persons do you want to see? All your church members, you know, all your girlfriends, your guy friends, everybody get together, just, having a good time. And sometimes we can't even get into that. And somebody else said, Jesus, okay, all right, that's right. Well, eventually we will. I believe that we will see Jesus. I believe that when he calls us home, that we will be able to see him. But on the down low right here in this area of life, this part of our lives, we probably still have a yearning to see people or have certain things, that we want. Could be food or anything. One is born a year. And congratulations on a 1-year-old grandson. He is cute. I did see him. He's adorable. But anyway, those would be the things that you would look at to try. Trying is something, it may be that you tried it, it didn't work out. I say try it again. Try something again. Or if you've tried it, you didn't like it, then try something else. The point is that trying is vital because it keeps us going. It keeps some excitement. It keeps us, it's like once you reach a goal, then you got to set a new goal. Once you achieve something, then you got to do it again. Like yesterday, I told my daughter I was going to make some arroz con pollo. And I used to have, in New York, I had a neighbor, our downstairs neighbor, would send my mother and I arroz con pollo, which is chicken and rice. And I absolutely love my mother. Okay, she's just really fussy, so no. So anyway, I wanted this chicken and rice, and I said, I got the idea, kind of like a yearn, to say I'm going to make it. I'm going to be triumphant over it. I'm going to shout out when I make this. Well, let me tell you, I made it last night. And my daughter came over late, but she said, Mommy, that's delicious. So, once again, trying something that you haven't tried. Now, I tried it before, but it never came out right. But this time I tried the Puerto Rican recipe, and that's the recipe I remembered. Before, I was taking one out of Betty Crocker. Okay. Nothing wrong with Betty Crocker because I like her recipes, but just saying that wasn't the recipe that I wanted for the Spanish chicken and rice, and it was just delicious, and I'm gonna have some today. I could share now. But after quarantine, I'll try it again. We'll maybe we can get together at a potluck or something. But the point is that I tried it. It was something that I had failed at before and went back and tried it again, and it worked. So anyway, when we talk about try, it talks about doing something new or doing something you did before, but approaching it with a new attitude, saying, I can do this. That would certainly be, of course, important. And the other thing is being your best self, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just want to do the best you can every opportunity that you can do it. And so the first poem was by Audrey Heller, Something New. And the second poem is by Be Yourself, and that's by Ty Howard. And that one just talks about being the best you. Don't worry about what everyone else is considering you to be. You just be you. Worry about who you are. And of course, the area that we talked about was just try. Try, make an attempt at doing something you've never done before or redoing it again. And do your best, strive, look forward to the struggle. It may be one, but seek out what the end is, what the new end might be. It might be this time it works for you. The next thing is roar, roar. You can have a quiet roar, which might be inside, But then the roar that comes out could be your voice just acknowledging that you've achieved something. You've made something, you're excited about it, but basically it's a bellowing sound. You're going to make a bellowing sound about movement, about all the things that are going on inside you, and you're excited about it. And some people roar with being upset or anger. Like I was watching some of the people that were protesting the fact of quarantine and in Michigan, and they were absolutely yelling. They were roaring at the crowd. They were angry. They were mad at the police. They were mad at the people on the other side of wanting quarantine. So, that's just letting you know that the roar is something that could be extremely huge. And the last thing, of course, is yearn, is to just want something that either you haven't had in a while, or it might be a person you haven't seen in a while. And I'm quite sure many of us have cravings for people, places, and things only because we've been under quarantine for so long. And so that would be the excitement of it. And then the last thing are your questions. Write something down that you've been triumphant for, or currently need to be triumphant to look into doing. And then also hold on to that scream and scream it out. Let it go. Let people hear it. And even if you're in your house by yourself, you're all right. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Good morning, David. And then the last one says, identify some of the things people that you yearn for. It could be, things that you did in your childhood that you knew were fun. Maybe foods that you used to make, or all those kinds of things. But you want to just look at, what can I try that I've never tried before, or I need to try again. Try. Don't look back. Don't make it so because it traumatized you in the back that it's going to traumatize you going forward. No, just approach it differently. Analyze at least enough of what you did wrong in before. Or maybe you didn't take enough information with you. Maybe you didn't research it enough. Maybe you didn't know the person enough to say that you're going to try a relationship with them again. And maybe they're not right for you. So therefore, don't worry about that. Try, but just try. Just do your best to try. And then the last thing, of course, is that in your yearnings, you're just going to look at what is it that I can't go without. What can it be? I want to stick with it. I want to wait on it. I'm going to prepare to do it. I'm going to prepare to have it. Maybe it's something to eat. I don't know. But that's what you want to do. But what I tell you is, don't look back. Look at the fact that all of us are stuck. But let your stuck be that you try something new, especially during this downtime. Try something new, Learn to sew, learn to write, learn to, read some more books. Just try it. Try it. You may find some excitement in all of that. But I want you to have a great day. I appreciate you stopping. Please share this video. And you can go to my YouTube video area, which is just under Sandra L. Winborn, PhD. And you will find all the videos of the Are You Stuck series. And I hope to see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock Central Time. Have a great day, and do try. Bye-bye.